Hi everyone. Here we are rolling into summer in New England, and that always feels good. Yoga makes you feel good too, and can eventually make you more compassionate, more grateful, and less judgmental. That is all good stuff. On the last episode of the show, I talked about the Yama, the first limb of yoga. That involved things like truthfulness and nonviolence. They're part of a code of conduct that we use in our interactions with others. The Niyamas, the second limb, are more about internal stuff. The ways in which we attend to ourselves, I guess you could say. Like the Yamas, there are 5 Niyamas. Actually, it is appropriate that these 2 limbs are the first 2. Because as we are using energy on our mats, we want to be sure that we are bringing ahimsa, nonviolence, not aggression, or satya, truthfulness, not self-denial, to the mat. The first niyama is sosha, which means keeping things clean in mind, body, and spirit. Physical cleansing can include nasal cleansing, an abdominal massage to clear the digestive tract, among other practices. As I was learning about sosha, I could really identify with the idea that our environment reflects our state of mind. If my house becomes too messy, it can definitely affect me mentally. And if I'm emotionally out of whack, I can look around and see it in the clutter of my house. If you get rid of a lot of that stuff, by the way, that you've been saving for not much reason, you'll probably feel a lot better too. We should also have a clean mat and practicing clean clothing in a clean place. Keeping the body healthy and clean is a way of respecting yourself. Sosha is also about being comfortable in your own skin, clean skin, that is. The second niyama is santosha. In the Yoga Sutras, it reads, quote, "From an attitude of contentment, unexcelled happiness, mental comfort, joy, and satisfaction is obtained," unquote. Yes, santosha is all about contentment. It means being happy with what you have. We could relate this to the non-hoarding that is part of the yamas we've previously discussed. Santosha is accompanied by a calm, stable feeling inside, and this feeling does not rely on outside material things or work, friends, even family. It is being happy within one's own self. As humans, we always seem to be looking for happiness in the external world or in our internal fantasies. Of course, true contentment involves growing and changing and maturing. This second niyama encompasses the idea of allowing what will be to be without trying to will it any which way. We can become more content through a process of letting go, of bringing the mind to a clearer state, and by being positive. And there's also tapas, which concerns austerity. This is a word we don't hear a lot about these days, kind of an old-fashioned word. I hit the dictionary just to refresh my memory and to get a clear understanding of the word. It's defined as having a simple and plain quality of living. Just living life in a simple and unadorned way. It doesn't mean living in a homemade hut in the woods. Oh, it could, but it doesn't have to. But not the other extreme either. This niyama also involves keeping complaining to a minimum. We could probably all learn a little from that. Traditionally, The tapas are related to the idea of a fiery discipline, an internal fire, a flame whereby obstacles to our goal in yoga practice can be burned away. Mental impurities are obliterated. Of course, nowadays, not everyone has this goal of samadhi or oneness with the divine. It may be at yoga class to strengthen the body, recover from an injury, or reduce stress. When tapas are applied to yoga practice, it can provide a commanding tool for transformation. This doesn't necessarily mean doing hot yoga every day. Sometimes it's just about getting to that mat. If the fires burn too brightly, it can make us overly aggressive. Svadhyaya is the fourth niyama, and it is the one that calls to me most because it involves the constant self-study that allows us to become better, physically, mentally, and spiritually. In the Yoga Sutras, Patanjali, which is like the Bible of yoga, I guess you would say, Patanjali says, study thyself, discover the divine. We begin to observe our own bodies and how they operate as we bring them to alignment and as we work to make improvements in our postures. We start to watch our thinking to improve the quality of that. Are we judging more than we should be? Is the monkey mind running amok? Funny part is, we are pretty good at observing and commenting on others, but not so much ourselves. Spending time in contemplation is part of Svadhyaya, so that we can begin noticing our habits and the things that have happened to us that shape us. Also, we ask ourselves questions, and then we listen quietly for answers, so that we are open for possibilities when they come along. In addition, Svadhyaya means loving ourselves unconditionally. That can be a tough one. It seems best to keep an open mind and just continue to learn, because this process is ongoing. The fifth niyama is Varapranahana, is based on the idea of surrendering to a higher power. It's about that ideal of going with the flow, of accepting what comes your way, and not getting too attached to whatever that outcome might be. This is really about faith, and really, all religious stuff aside, we all experience faith in some form. This niyama entails building a relationship of trust with the universe and really offering all we do towards something greater than ourselves. Yoga does not force the idea of religion or God on anyone, but we do believe there is something larger. I think of AA or NA or OA as having a very similar principle, that belief in a higher power. As part of yoga, this means letting go and surrendering, not trying to control everything. Surrender is definitely not about giving up, but rather going with the natural flow of things and also allowing for rest and calm when it is needed. So with the niyamas in mind and for you to reflect upon, we'll move now to the mat and do our yoga. We begin today by bringing our attention to the rise and fall of our breath. As we rest here, we allow the thoughts to descend, concerns to move away. we let the monkey mind settle. And we do that via the breath. We notice as the breath moves through the body. We cultivate an awareness. As we inhale, we bring in fresh oxygen, new energy. And as we exhale, we surrender, letting go of the old. For a moment, we just bring the hands to the sides of the ribs. So just placing them at the sides, allowing your elbows to rest on the floor. And we'll just begin to take a 3-part breath. So we're going to inhale into the abdomen, up into the rib cage, and to the chest. And exhaling chest, ribs, abdomen. And returning to the normal breath. So we generally don't breathe completely. We don't fill the whole area. And so in yoga, we do attempt to do that. And also we have this notion of expanding the ribs laterally, which was new to me in my yoga training. So again, we'll try that breath. Inhale into the belly. Expand the ribs. Lift the chest. Pause for just a second and exhale. So we also have that little retention at the top of the breath there. It's not a holding really, just a brief moment of retention. And then we just exhale. So let's try that again. Inhaling to the belly, ribs, and up in the chest. And we try to do that all in one fluid movement. And then exhaling chest, ribs, and belly. Returning to the natural breath. And just noticing for a moment the feeling of the hands on the ribs. We're always trying to nurture that mind-body connection. When we do things on autopilot, it dulls the mind. Extend the legs. Extend the arms. Reach through the webbing of the fingers. You press your heels away, grounding down with the calves. And just letting the body extend. Take a few breaths here, so don't stop breathing. And then on your next exhalation, bring the arms down in time with the breath. And then take your feet very wide, just the width of your mat, and just windshield wiper back and forth. Even though we're not going to reach like we do sometimes, we're just going to windshield wiper them as we attempt to open the hips up a little more than usual today, because we're going to use some of this in our postures. So point and flex the feet. And then just make some circles with your feet. We keep the movement slow, so the mind stays with the movement. And then bring the legs back to hip distance. So just tap the legs, bringing some invigoration into the legs. Draw the arms up. Move the palms away from you. Try to keep your toes, your heels on the center there, and your toes upward, not gripping. And just begin now to grasp at the air. So we involve the hands and the arms as we bring in this energy up from the heart, and we bring a little circulation to the arms. And really shaking them. And then bring them apart a little further. Bring the forefingers tight together and bring the fingertips to the palm pads as we again bring this energy up from the heart chakra. The arms are extensions of the heart. And then shake the arms down. Extend the arms long. Push the legs away. Exhale down. Bring your feet to the floor one at a time and just draw one hand to each elbow as you rest the head behind or on the forehead if you have shoulder issues. Take a deep breath into the chest area. Expand that area. Exhale. Bring the arms down by your sides and the feet long. And just come up and move your bolster off to the side. And come down to a flat back position. And in this position, let's extend again. Reaching and stretching the sides of the body. We hold a lot of tension between the ribs too, and those muscles in there, so we release that. Coming down by the sides. Do a pelvic tilt. Press the small of the back into the ground, bringing the pelvis towards the face. Relax. Again, press it into the ground so we warm that lower back up. Good. And then again. Once more we do that. And then bring the feet to the floor one at a time. Draw your right knee into your chest. Take a breath. Extend that right leg up as you interlace behind it. So the arms are long, and the chin is even, and the foot, the sole is pressing right up to the ceiling. Spread your toes if you can. And then draw the knee downward, keeping the sole upwards, and then push it back up. As we use a little motion to extend those hamstrings. And then bend your leg right to here. And then take your right leg we have here. And then just take the side leg, let that leg move out. Let this left one stay there. And just see if you can move that out to the side a little as we stretch the inner thigh, the hip area. Just getting that prepared and warmed up. And then bring it up across, keeping that 90-degree angle. Take your other hand, your left hand, and just guide that over. Let it go over a little bit. Nice stretch through the hip. And then coming back up, just bring the foot down towards you and draw the leg a little closer to the center of the chest and just pull it in. Stretching that area. Take a breath. Relax the foot. And then let that move forward a little. Take your right hand to the top of the knee and make small circles in the hip joint. Slow, small circles. So don't go big on this. There's no need to. We're just warming, and the other way, warming up that hip joint a little bit. And then take that foot down. Draw the left into the chest. Hug it in. Take a big breath. Again, relaxing the foot. This is something I'm practicing. I tend to hold too much tension in the feet. Extend up, and you'll notice your body. The more you become aware of it, the more you'll notice those things. Spread the toe, press the sole up. Draw the knee down and push it back up. Just lengthening that hamstring. And then bring that to that nice 90-degree angle. Take the left hand and let that leg drift out as we steady the right knee. We open that hip up. Coming back up, we let that cross over, taking it with the right hand and just keeping the angle and crossing over there. Come back over, extend the legs, extend the arms, stretch the body. Exhale the arms down by the sides. Point and flex your feet. Just point and flex them a few times. Bring the feet back up to the floor. Cross your right leg over your left. Make sure your knee and hip are in a line. And just take your thumb and bring it right into your hip crease. And encourage that hip to open a little bit physically. And then bring your hand up and use at your thigh to open that. Then bring your hands and draw the legs to the chest and just take a nice breath. Relax your feet, relax your stomach, make the chin even. And then extend your left leg and interlace behind that, if you're able. Now, if anything causes you pain, don't do it. Just don't do it. There shouldn't be any pain in yoga. So you can always modify the pose. Maybe you stay down here. Maybe it's just not comfortable. And just pressing that sole up against spreading the toes and lengthening that hamstring. And then bend that leg, and if you can hold behind too. But if you can, interlace in front of the knee and draw that in. Feel that stretch through the hip. Bring that left foot to the floor. Draw the right knee in again. And let the left go long. Make sure you're centered on that left leg and the heels on the, and I'm a little crooked on my mat here. Let me straighten out. And just let that be long. And now extend this other leg up. Spread the toes. So again, you may have to make a little adjustment. You're coming further down maybe, or whatever you have to do. And then bring that foot down. Extend the arms, extend the legs. Exhale down. Bring your feet to the floor again. And this time, cross the left over the right, making sure you got that nice straight line. Take your thumb, put it right into that knee crease and open that. You can see as I do that it physically moves the leg a little. And we encourage the thigh to open. And then we draw those up and we hold them, because as we hold in the pose, it creates a release. Breathe. And then bring that foot to the floor and draw the other knee and bring it right towards the center of the chest. And then release and extend. I have to back up. I did something wrong. Okay, starting here. So cross your leg over the other leg, keeping that in a nice straight line. Use your thumb to open up that crease. And then the hand to open the thigh. And then bring those up and allow that to release as we just hold the pose a second. Extend the right leg up, put the hand behind it, and just point and flex the foot. And then press it straight up. Fold that down, interlace in front, and draw that in, stretching that left hip. Bring that foot to the floor and draw the other knee, the left knee in as you allow that right leg to go long. And then just extend both the arms and the legs. Reaching, and then exhaling down. And now bring the feet to the floor. And we're going to begin to rock a little. So bring the hands behind the thighs and rock. Just on the lower sacrum right now. Just on the lower sacrum. So we're noticing that. And then we'll come up to the mid-back. Breaking up some tension in the back. And then moving all the way up, if you can, rolling up to the top of the back. A lot of people hold tension in the upper back. And then we're going to rock to the feet and rock back. Rock to the feet, and just going back and forth. And then coming up and coming back and just extending the legs long. Now make sure in Dandasana or staff position that your legs are grounded down. You're noticing the thighs tighten as you ground down with the calves. The toes are upward, not gripping. We bring the hands to the sides, the fingertips, and lift and open the chest. And as you do that, create some spaciousness there. Breathe into the chest. And then exhale, letting the shoulders relax. Bring the arms overhead. Reach up out of the waist and move forward. Lift the chest as you straighten the back and keep that chest from collapsing. So you're feeling a nice stretch in the hamstrings. And then walk the hands back up. Bring your legs to this position. Toes are up on the heels. Bring your hands in the middle. Push your thighs against your upper arms and vice versa. Lift the chest. Round down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Bring the feet down. Come to this position to the front. Bring your blocks with you. Bring your left leg in front first, and then your right. Support your knees if you need to. Bring your feet in Sukhanasana, simple seated position. We bring the feet as much under the knees as you possibly can. Bring the one hand either up or down on your thigh, whatever's comfortable. We'll do a little alternate nostril breathing. We bring the first two fingers inward, allowing the thumb and the other two to extend. We bring this above the nose, either resting on the nose or just above it. We lower the head just a little, and we put a gentle smile on our face. And then we block the thumb side, inhale through the finger side. Block, finger, open thumb, exhale. Inhale, thumb. Exhale, finger, block, thumb side. Inhale, finger side. Block, open thumb. Inhale. Exhale, other side. So we often breathe just through one nostril or the other for periods of time. So this balances it balances the brain. And if you wanted to be calmer, you could actually do the breathing just through inhaling left, exhaling right, inhaling left, exhaling right. And then if you wanted more invigoration, you could inhale right, exhale left, inhale right, exhale left, because they're connected to the opposite sides of the brain. So it does work that way. Bring your hands up overhead, interlace, extend the arms upwards. We do that inner rotation up the upper arms. Exhale down. Bring one arm up, move to the side. Come back, other arm up, move over. And then begin to just sway gently for a moment, closing the eyes. And then just coming back to the center. Inhale, roll the shoulders. Exhale back, inhale up. Exhale back, inhale up. Exhale back. Bring the hands to the shoulders and just do a few rotations. And the other way. And then bring the hands down, remove your blocks for a minute, and just tap your feet. Tap your legs, and then point and flex the feet. And then draw the right and then the left in and support with that for a moment. Bring your hands forward like you're hugging a beach ball. Inhale, lift the chin a little. Exhale, chin level. Inhale. Exhale. As you bring back, you bring those shoulder blades together. Inhale. Exhale. Wrap the arms, hugging yourself. So just giving a hug there as we just loosen the shoulders. Extend, wrap the other way. And then releasing. Let's come up to table for just a moment. Let's tap the feet. Now do remember in table that the shoulders are over the wrist. I know I say it all the time. And the hips over the knees. And then we're going to extend, bring the right knee into the chest. So we hunch up, drop the head, and we exhale. Push the foot back as the head comes up. Inhale, round. Exhale, back. Bring the toe out. Bring the arm up as you flatten the sole to the floor, extending one against one shoulder atop the other. Come back down. Bring the knee in. Inhale, round with the left leg. Exhale, push back. Inhale, round. Exhale, push. Bring the toe out to the side. Place it on the floor. And coming up. And then coming back down. Let's come up now and take the blanket off. Let's come up to standing. You can bring your blocks to the front of the mat. If you need them. Some of you do, some of you don't. You can have them standing taller or shorter, whatever is good. Bring the feet hip distance. Bring them even in hip distance. Look down at them. Are they even? Are they parallel? Lift your arms, lift your toes, spread them. Place them down, going for that wide, grounded foot in yoga. Bring the hands to one each elbow. Bend to the side. Up, bend to the other side. Come back up to center. Bring the arms down. Inhale, bring the backs of the wrist together. Backs of the palms. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Now inhale, and as you come out, bring the palm pads right to the top of the thigh bone, and just push back a tiny bit as you come into a half fold with the forehead leading, weight coming towards the balls of the feet. And then come down into Uttanasana, forward fold, looking back through the legs, snuggling in towards the body as much as you're able. If it causes strain in your back, loosen the knees. Come up, bend the knees a little. Come up, inhale. Exhale to prayer. Let's try eagle. So bring the feet together, pretty close together there. And then as you ground down on that left foot a little bit, you want to bend the knee, but only slightly. And we're getting a nice grounding feeling there. And then we're going to bring this right toe up. And you're going to lift it. You're going to lift, ground down with that left foot and lift that toe and cross it over, coming as close as you can to the foot. Bring the arms up and cross the right over the left. Extend the elbows forward and reach up an eagle. And eventually that foot will wrap around the back. Make sure your spine stays straight, that you're not down too low. And release. Come back into that position. Bearing down on that right foot a bit and grounding down. And just bending that knee. Come up on the left toe. Lift the left leg. Place it the other way. Bring the hands up. Right over left. Extend the elbows forward and upwards. Straighten the spine. And release. Inhale, coming up on the toes. Extended tall mountain. Exhale down. Come to the front of the mat, and we're going to do the sun salutation. Now remember, there's ways to modify this position, so just bend the knees. I'll try to address those as we move along. Tuck the tummy back to the spine in Tadasana. Let the shoulders drop down. Inhale overhead. Fold, bring the hands next to the feet and step back with your left foot. Make sure the right stays right over the knee. The back leg is lifted. That thigh stays lifted. This is Anjanasana, runner's lunge. Now bring the right foot back to meet the left as you come into plank pose. Keep the tummy up but the buttocks down. Make sure your fingers are pointing outwards. And now you can either drop your back knees, or you can come down, knees, chest, chin, keeping the elbows in tight towards your body. Chaturanga Dandasana. Flip the feet to the tops. Make sure they're nice and straight. Place your hands beside you. Peel the chest up. Either in Bhujangasana, Cobra, or up into upward facing dog. Flip the toes, come into down dog. Bring that left foot forward again between the legs. Back into Anjanasana. Then the right foot comes to meet it, and we come back into the forward fold. Inhale up. Exhale to prayer. Inhale, the arms overhead. Exhale down. So always when we do something on one side, we have to do it on the other. So we're going to do the other side, but first we check our posture. We make sure our feet are even in parallel, that we're nicely in Tadasana. Inhale, the arms overhead. Tummy comes back, fold. Place the hands, bend the knees, step back with the right foot. Left one is in that 90-degree position. Hands are beside the feet. Now, it takes a while to get here. This is not really a beginner's pose at all. That's why you can modify. You can drop the back knee. You can do these things. So listen to your body. I did this in a class this morning, and some people struggle, but everybody's getting better. Come back to plank pose. Make sure the shoulders stay over the wrists and the fingers are angled either parallel or outward, not inward. Hold the elbows close. Either drop your knees or come down. Chaturanga Dandasana. Lift up into Cobra or up dog, where only the hands and feet touch. Then flip the toes, come to down dog. And step forward with the right foot. Back into Anjanasana. Keep that back leg up. Step forward with that. Come into your fold, looking back between the legs. And then up. Exhale to prayer. And release. And then we'll come to the front of the mat for a moment. And we will step wide on the mat. So to do warrior two, we step nice and wide. We make sure the feet are nice and even on the outside. And students may start here, but just stay with it, and over time you'll see incredible improvement. It's just amazing. So turn your right foot out all the way, straighten it. Turn the toes and the back in. Now, the general rule is your heel is about halfway to the foot there. The front leg is straightened, and as you turn to move the torso forward, do not move this leg. You'd be better off a little angled than to move this and lose this. Extend the arms. Bend the forward knee and gaze out over that hand. Straighten that leg. And just take your fingers and cut right into that hip and come down into Trikonasana. Into Trikonasana. And as we did that, we just encouraged that hip opening. Come back up, feet to center. Turn the left foot out all the way, back one in a little. Come to the front, extend the arms, bend the forward knee. Keep the torso straight. Fingers are separated somewhat. Back leg, again, strong. Straighten the leg. Bring the fingers to the hip crease. Cut it back. Come into Trikonasana. Stack the arms. Keep your head looking forward. Come on. Bring the feet together. Okay, I want to do something on the floor. So we're going to come down, again, to down dog. So let's come down and start in table position. And then move the hands forward of the shoulders. Tuck the toes, about the same distance as the hands apart, which should be to almost the edge of your mat. And then lift the buttocks up towards the back wall, towards the ceiling, letting the head hang. Now lift your right leg up all the way and then bring it in and turn the foot towards the left hand. Let that rear right leg be straight. Look back at it. Is the foot down? Is the knee flat on the floor? And we want to try to square the hips. So this is new. We're just planting a seed here in pigeon. And then come down. Now pigeon is a real hip opener. And the hips is where we store a lot of our emotional stuff too. So when you release the hips, sometimes you release a lot of other stuff with it. You can come down to wherever you're comfortable. And then just walking up and coming back. Come back into table. Walk the hands forward. Press into the knuckles. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Lift the leg up. Left leg, bring it in, bring it over, flatten the back leg. Take a look at it because it wants to do its own thing back there. So we keep an eye on that leg. And we try to square those hips by bringing them even and just coming down to the floor to wherever you can. So this is a pose I'm working on too. Teachers always are working on and making themselves better as well. And then walking back up. And then just come to a simple seated for a moment. Now, the thing with the pigeon is that it hits a couple chakras. Hits the root chakra and the sacral chakra. And those are kind of where our relationships are based and such, with ourselves and with others. It's also where our survival is. It's in relationships, it's our intimacy and trust. So there's a lot of things. As we open the hips, we open up a lot of stuff, good stuff. So coming back up to standing, let's come to the front of the mat. Bring your hands to your hips. And bearing on the right foot and grounding down like a tree, lift the left leg up. Lift it right up off the floor. And just stay there a minute, bring the hands to prayer. And then reach back with that leg. Straighten the front one. Extend your arms up, opening the hands. Exhale, move down. You can either come to here, you can come to here. Keep the legs straight though, but don't put pressure on the knee. Just taking a breath. Bring the hands to the hips first, and then bring your torso up, and then step forward. Inhale, raise the toes, lift them. Exhale, down. Now grounding on that left foot, we lift the right and bring the hands to prayer. Getting a gaze point, a drishti. And then stepping back, extend up, over and down. Breathing. Hands to hips, up, step forward. Inhale, spread the toes, lift them. Exhale, down. And now we'll come back, we'll put our blanket back down, and we'll sit on our bolster or on a pillow, and we'll have a few minutes of Shavasana. And a little meditation first. So let's just do that. You need your blocks to support your legs. You need your pillow nearby for Shavasana. So here, we come to this position, bringing the hands up on the legs. And today we're just going to do the mudra of wisdom, bringing the index finger and the thumb together and extending the other fingers. This is our center for intelligence and for intuitiveness. So let's do Om Shanti 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 3 times. We begin to inhale to begin. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Open the hands. Bring your attention with your eyes closed to the heart chakra. And as you do that, envision it as a brilliant golden color, opening that chakra to be more loving and kind. And now we'll come to Shavasana with the bolster beneath your legs and a pillow beneath your head. And as you rest here, draw your attention back to your breath. Notice the ebb and flow of the breath. Allow your concerns and thoughts to remain descended. And as you rest there, I will just read to you. As kids begin their summer, and we adults do too, I thought this reading would be appropriate. Everyone, when they are young, knows what their destiny is. At that point in their lives, everything is clear and everything is possible. They are not afraid to dream and to yearn for everything they would like to see happen to them in their lives. And that's from The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. So now, just return to your breath, the rise and the fall. Imagine now that you are walking on a beach. Feel the breeze in the hair and the warm sun on your face. As you walk, feel the sand beneath your feet, coarse but soft, warm but cool. You hear the sounds of the waves crashing on the shore, seagulls flying overhead. You feel the breeze, you smell the salt air and taste it in your mouth. We experience contentment, santosha, surrendering to where we are. And then very gently begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. And then just roll to your right side and just rest there a moment. We rest with a feeling of contentment, feeling of happiness with what we have. It is our path, and we were meant to walk it. Slowly, keeping your peacefulness, just come up to a simple seated position. Bring the hands together and gently rub them, feeling the hands one against the other, and setting an intention now for our day. Draw the hands in prayer position into the chest, lift the sternum, release the shoulders. Bow the intellectual mind to the more intuitive wisdom of the heart. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way home. Namaste. Thank you.